What's going on, guys? So after my last couple of Apdo analysis videos, Apdo's picked up a new champion, Orianna, in the mid lane, helped him to get rank 1 on the Korean server. Now today I'm going to be going over a game he played around about 20 days ago. He hasn't actually played a game in 14 days. Now the reason for that is, after he hit rank 1, his account was permabanned, so he hasn't been playing on this account. He does have a Smurf he's been playing on. I'll put a link in the description of his Smurf. It's in silver or something. He's just been trolling around playing like Vayne and Twitch mid and top, so he's just having a bit of fun after rank 1. So today's game, getting into it. Where is this bad boy? Right here it is. Now he played against a player who I got to play against over in Korea called SKT1 Sky. Had the pleasure of laning against Sky. Actually went really well against him. Ended up winning the game. I'd say the laning phase between me and him were pretty even. He had a slight edge in the early laning phase. I was Syndra. But then when it came to level 6 and to the mid game, we ran over them and we won the game. So hopefully that gives me a little bit of help into kind of explaining what these players are doing. Now, everything is kind of stock standard for Apdo's Orianna except for one thing, and that's his 3 movement speed quints on Orianna. Now the reason for this is, he likes to go this movement speed to give him spacing in trading for the lane. So he can move in for the trade, move out really quickly to get the nice trade off while the enemy is kind of backing off. And before they can move back in for the trade, they can't get into the space. Another reason he likes to run it is just so that he can get into the river faster to help his jungler for the 2v2. Everything else is just stock standard Apdo. Just have a look, copy it down if you want. I'll get into the skill order and the item builds during the game. Masteries, just your typical. He's got 5 points in meditation. Obviously for these mana intensive champions, everybody's going 5 points in meditation right now. While he just gets that 1 point in vamp as always. For an extended laning phase, he gets that health back. It helps him out a lot. So without further ado, let's get straight into the game. Alright, just getting into game here. I'm hoping this quality is good enough. I couldn't get a... Okay, we're getting into the game now. Typical Doran's Ring, 2 potions start. Nothing out of the ordinary. Into the Talia. This matchup, in my opinion, favors the Talia early because you can push better on the Talia and get more roams and map pressure off. So we'll see how Sky plays it. Checks for the wolves. Oh, not the wolves, the wraith, sorry. That's what I always like to check. Now he starts Q. The reason for that is there's no really targetable skill shot that Sky, like the Talia, has. So starting Q on Orianna against something that you can kind of dodge out and you don't have to start the shield. Starting the shield's favorable into something like a Kassadin where he's just going to Q you, it's targetable. Pantheon comes in for level 2 gank. Filthy Pantheon player. Now what, his ball placement, okay, see that? He puts it on the backline minion wave. The one thing that separates a average Orianna player and a great is the ball placement during the laning phase and how you use it to zone out the enemy for CS. Talia's missing. Could be roaming or just bush camping. Bush camping. Goes to the trade. I actually don't think that was favorable for him. That's the great thing about Talia with that wall ride. You can move up with the movement speed. Get some poke off. That's the best thing about, like, Talia's early laning phase is great. That's why I say right now Talia is probably one of the best solo queue picks to use. Great push, great mobility. There's really no downside of playing Talia in my opinion. Talia's either based or roamed. Apdo decides to stay. If he backs there, he misses quite a lot of minions and is vulnerable to a freeze. Sits in lane. He's got that 1 point in vamp. Got the meditation. He's slowly going to sustain back up. Talia has the huge laning advantage here though. The Dark Seal and the potion. Apdo still has 1 potion, guys, but he's not going to pop it now because of the... He's got some sustain. He's just going to try to hold off on it. He'll back up slowly. and just farm. He is down a little bit of CS though, even after a level 2 Pantheon gank. Not quite optimal. Probably going to try and leave a minion. You cannot freeze into Italia. It is impossible to freeze on Italia. Holds a lane under his turret for as long as he can. He's not even trying to trade really now. He's just trying to CS. Conceded all lane control to the Talia, mainly due to the push. Talia goes onto the jungler. I actually think that can win that. Pops a heal early. Make sure he's not in a position where he can die. Doesn't go all the way in. Just holds a nice spacing between him and opponents. Is he going to get another one? Fucking hell. Okay, well that was perfect for Apdo. Really a mistake by the enemy. The Talia kind of baited the jungle in for the trade. Try to get the Pantheon. It could have worked if they got it at the start, but Apdo got the roam across eventually. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what his first back is here. Guy stops the back. Apdo backed in a super greedy place. I really thought he should have backed in a different position there. Try to get it off. Sork boots. Lost chapter, okay. Now Sork boots in synergy with the movement speed Quint is going to give him so much movement speed to get around the map. With his W as well. This is a highly mobile champion. Even though sometimes you don't think of an Orianna as mobile, right now this Orianna is very mobile. Add in the Luden's Echo, which he likes to go. He's going to have a lot of speed on this Orianna to move around the map looking for skirmishes. Couldn't afford the refillable potion, which he always likes to go because of the efficiency. Just going to go to the one pot. Doesn't have a pink ward either. Still has flash. He can play this lane. He can play this laning phase however he wants. He has blue buff. We'll see if he just goes for the push. Continuous push, looking for trades. Yeah, he's just going to try and start pushing now with the blue. He has the mana advantage. Wants to push the Talia in. Kind of keep Talia's roams at bay by just pushing him in. Getting the CS under tower, so Talia's just stuck there CSing. Yep, pulls the ult. I knew there was a chance. He pulled it a little bit later than I thought. Now, the reason Orianna's always like to use that zoning type of ultimate is because, look, it's as soon as you get it and you've got the mana, if you can pull it and you can put them at a low health, you can start pushing in, pressuring the map so much more. You'll see like really good Oriannas like Perks and Forbidden always just go for the ultimate. Whenever they're in range for the ult, even a full health enemy, they'll sometimes just pop it in lane. Just gives you that laning advantage. Your jungler can come like that Pantheon did. Not sure. I'm not sure what that Pantheon's doing. He's trying to get the kill. Didn't work out. Fair enough. Pantheon's giving Apdo more pressure than the enemy Kha'Zix is. In saying that, Kha'Zix comes across, gets the poke off. As always, the mid lane is a 2v2. It's never a 1v1. You've always got to incorporate junglers in. Like you see people like Jensen and stuff. He'll only really play aggressively in the mid lane when his jungler's around, or he knows the enemy jungler's. He's got vision on the enemy jungler in a different position. Wants to push into tower, probably get a base off here. His CSing isn't that great. It's on track for 8 or 9 CS per minute. Definitely opportunity for him to pump it up a bit. But on Orianna, you're always looking for that 10 CS per minute. Just how easy it is to farm. Farm the Wraiths. Going for that Morello early, of course. Once you hit that Morello Spark on Orianna, you can start looking for solo kills. It's definitely doable. Into a Talia as well. Talia has the heal though, so one full rotation combo is not going to do it. Very even game. Enemy's up gold though because of the CS advantages across the board. Apdo looking for a push. As always, Apdo's playstyle, he's just making like little to no mistakes, making sure he's going to scale to that mid to late game. On Orianna, you're going to have much better skirmishes than Italia if you can get a grouped, stacked team fight for an objective. Tries to contest his control. He can't. I don't think he can contest that. No vision of the holy fuck. You knew the jungler was there. Fucking ballsy Pantheon, pulling through for him. Whenever the mid lane is contesting the pink like that, always assume the enemy jungler's around there, or else they're not going to be contesting it. In lower elos, they might just contest it for no reason, but in high elo games like this, there's no reason he'd contest that. Like Sky would try and contest that without jungler, a jungler nearby. And then in contrast, the way Apdo was playing, he's playing very aggressive. It was pretty obvious Pantheon was there as well. But the Lulu was really the turning factor, I think. Definitely for the double anyway. Apdo's in a really good position to carry. Their gold is even though. Always use that W to get back to lane quicker. These movement speed abilities to get back to lane definitely help out. Something like the REQ and stuff like that. I even saw, the first time I saw a player ever ghost to lane, it was Apdo. Ghosted straight from base to lane so he could get so he didn't miss out on 6 creeps. I've been using it every now and then, but you shouldn't use it that often, to be honest. CS is even now between the mid laners. XP advantage to Apdo. I think you should have pushed the mid lane there. Where the fuck is this Kha'Zix watching? So I think he was a little bit too late for that bot lane roam. He could have just hard pushed his lane and started pressuring for the tower. Wasted quite a lot of time there, kind of just in between decisions. I think always if you're that late to a roam, just go for the hard push on tower. It is hard though, because if the Talia overcommitted for the bot lane, he would have followed up and probably got a triple. He didn't commit all the way, which is nice. You'll see sometimes mid laners will roam all the way down to the bot lane and they'll walk all the way back to the mid lane and they've got nothing for it. Great play by Sky. Apdo making sure to push this in, trying to get any advantage he can. Apdo's gonna try. Apdo does not want to fight at all here. No mana, no health. There's no reason. If his team committed, it's on his team. Be a stupid decision for them. Looks like he's going towards the Leandry. He's going to get that haunting, guys. Apdo's Orianna builds are pretty strange. Usually he either goes for the Rod of the Ages or he goes for the Morello into Leandry's into Luden's Echo. Usually the Rod of the Ages is into things like He was playing it into Kassadin, he's playing it into things like Zed and stuff that try and explode him. And if he survives like one combo, then he's going to pull the trigger and out DPS them. Now, obviously, there was a lot of hate on a topic. Apdo said that Orianna was uncounterable. It's the perfect lane. Now, people are saying that to me, you know, Orianna broke is Orianna broke in Midbeast? And I think in his context, he's talking about master players, guys. He's talking about master career or above. It's not really... A silver Orianna is definitely counterable. You can stomp on that. It's not broken. At the highest level, it's very hard to beat, though. Just because of the spacing and the trading from it. Goes to the side lane for the CS. The one thing in Korea I noticed, laners knew where to pick up farm. If I'm rotating bot for the CS to hit the tower, my bot lane always walks mid to grab my wave that I miss. It's really nice. It's really nice to see. And then when I come back to Os, bot lane would have went bot here, and I'm like, why? You're not getting anything from being bot lane because I'm already there. He just goes down bot. 2v1s. Both summoners up. He can't die unless he gets hooked. Even here, I don't think he'll die. I'm very greedy by him. I don't know. I don't know about that one. A little bit messy. I'm not going to say it's calculated. It's just a messy little skirmish. He shouldn't have been so far up to get hooked. He just wanted to push into the tower, get a base off, go back mid. Still down on gold. Only due to the towers, I guess. Playing one tower. Now this, with Talia, when you go to Banshees, you're in a really good spot against these control mages. You can poke them out, and even if you get hit by a little bit, you're going to negate it. Walks through a pink there, doesn't really care. Fucking Herald, man. Holy shit, that fucking Herald going ham for him. Now, Orianna is probably one of the... Like, Apdo likes to play side lane champions, guys. Orianna is not a side lane champion. It is a mid lane champion, where you majority of the time, you are mid, as opposed to his Kassadin, his TF, where he likes to get into a side lane around about like 18 minutes and beyond. But things like Syndra and Orianna, though, you're mainly mid lane. You're looking for skirmishes around the mid lane and into the river. Definitely different ways you play these champions. Different play styles, different win conditions. Talia can hit a side lane up, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Talia hits the side lane up while the bot lane goes mid at some point in the game. They try and bring out the immobile Orianna. In saying that, he is pretty quick, though. We'll see how they play it. I believe this game was played on patch 7.13. I think that might have been one patch before the Duskblade. I'm not too sure, because usually Jin's on 7.14 was spamming the Duskblade, but this Jin's going for the Ghostblade into IE. Bit of an older build. Making sure he's pinging out the Talia. Pushing mid in. I mean, he's not going to do anything super risky here. If he goes into the river, he's not that mobile with no flash. Goes into the river, gets collapsed on, he dies. So he just pushes the mid, plays a little bit safe. I doubt he's going to play aggressively until he has that flash up again. Like, you saw how he liked to play with that flash in that bot lane. He was almost under tower trying to play with it. Fucking Jax mains, man. This Jin's dead. Alright, they're still behind in gold though. The game is very tight. When it comes to comp-wise, I'd say Apdo's team has the advantage. It really depends how this Pantheon... This Pantheon's not going to scale very well, unfortunately. But then you've got the Ashe, the Lulu, you've got the Orianna. I'd say their comp is much better. Especially for the big skirmishes. Unless Blitz gets a hook. Against a Blitzcrank, a Banshee's Veil on a mid lane is really efficient. Maybe Apdo will go Banshee's third. I'd say he's going to go Banshee's third, or... I'm not sure. He likes the Trinity of the... He's going for that Trinity. Or... Morello, Leandries, into the Luden's Echo. Once you hit those 3 items, you're at a point where it's just absurd how much damage you can do to champions. Especially the squishies. Pretty much one-shot them. He likes that utility, of course, with the movement speed. Apto's not that big of a pink ward buyer, I'm not gonna lie. There's other mid laners who buy so many more pinks than Apto. Has Flash now. Needs the blue buff though to start playing really aggressively. Nice. That's it. Like, they've got a really great pick comp. They just need to keep picking and taking objectives. Go for the Baron here. Koreans love their Barons. It's one thing I noticed. As soon as they can get any type of man advantage, they'll just try and go for the Baron rush. Any advantage or any type of lead, they'll try and get it. Perfect Baron call. Bot lane tower is going to be upset. They want to try and drop the bot lane tower. And there's no objectives really topside. So I'd say you want to start playing bot side. Push into the mid lane, get some vision throughout the blue side of the enemy jungle, and then look for the bot lane tower. Play with your Jax who's going to be pushing into there. Look for a skirmish in the jungle or something like that. Expect the map to open up very soon. Yep. He's going to walk into the jungle. Knows they're going to be playing bot side. Fucking that risky plant move of the day. I mean, he has flash. It's not that risky, but if he jumps over and there's 2 or 3 there, he's got to flash out. Someone has to, yeah. Jax is going to back for the cannon. I don't even know, can he? I'm not sure if he can deal with the cannon. It's going to be a problem if he can't. He sits bot without his team. Just has the Pantheon. All they really need to do is play it slow, not get Blitzhook, they'll be fine to close out this game. Apdo doesn't quite have ult, so I definitely wouldn't. I'd say that they probably shouldn't commit for an all-in 5v5. Apdo will have the Ludens here as well. So this spike right now is going to be huge for him. Definitely going to be trying to end out the game on this power spike. Pretty much for all the carries, really. Now, I did say in Apdo's interview when he got rank 1, he said he's going back, when he goes back to China and goes and plays on the server again, he's going to learn Talia, he said. Thinks it's a very strong champion. But he hasn't really had too much practice on it. He has played some Talia games. I was going to do a review on his Talia, but I mean, he played like 2 or 3 Talia games in like Platinum when he was climbing up this on the Naced account, so it's kind of useless. I'd rather put up what he used to get to rank 1. But maybe a Talia review next. I'm not too sure. Hopefully he plays on a high elo account over in China. I know he's got a top 10 account MMR sitting there somewhere. I mean, right now it's on the enemy to engage to try and pick them off. Because they can just slowly take over this game here. There's no reason to go risky, try and get, maybe someone gets blitz hooked and there'll be a comeback. That Kennen is really keeping them in the game. And Tara. I didn't get a chance to play with... I got a chance to play with... is it Ixu? Jin Air's top lane. I got to play with him. And Longzhu Khan. Khan was really good to play with. He actually ended up calling me mid kitty after the game. Quite enjoyed that. Same with Imp. Not Imp, Uzi. Unfortunate I didn't get a run into Apdo over there. There was maybe a possibility at one stage, but I did snipe some 700 and 800 LP challenger players, but Apdo was around about 900 to a 1k LP then. The one advantage the enemy team is that they have the better sides. He has flash. He'll be fine here. Flash over. Oh, that's fucking unfortunate. See that? I mean, that's going to turn the game on its head. It's definitely back into contention now. Just by one little mistake and getting caught out in the jungle. Fucking blitzcranks, man. The one problem on Apdo's team is the Pantheon. You're so one-dimensional as a Pantheon. All you can do is you either ult in and it's so obvious, or you flash W. So without flash on Pantheon, you're pretty much you're just useless. Especially into like, look into their team comp. I mean, Talia can just brush him away. Kennen can stun him up. Blitz can E him. They've got to get a pick and then turn it into a little like a skirmish where Apdo can get a 2 to 3 man ultimate, and I think their team fight will win. But they're very reliant on Apdo here. He's got a lot of the gold, so if his skill shots don't hit or he dies, they'll probably lose the game. And right now, one ace is probably going to turn it now into a Baron and then a Siege. Apdo has no flash. He has to be super careful here. He's going to go for the... Yeah, he's going for the Banshees next, guys. And the reason for that is simply the Banshees next is for the Blitzcrank. He doesn't want to get Blitzcrank hooked from afar when he has no flash. And if he has that Banshees up, he can play a little bit more aggressively. As I said, they're just going for the picks into the Baron. But this is a bad spot for them to be in. No Ashol with mid lane pushing in. We'll see what Apdo does. He's just... This is always such an awkward position. Enemy team such posturing towards the Baron. He's got to be careful moving through here. All right, so they have no vision on the Baron now. The enemy team could have started it. We'll see what happens. Now see how reliant Apdo is on his team. He's just staying around his team. He can't do that side lane strategy that he likes to do on the TF and the Kassadin here. He's very much always around teammates, never on his own. Enemy team has topside advantage. Enemy team definitely has a positional advantage here, I'd say. They have the Baron control and topside control. Perfect engage. Apdo just chases the blitz. I'd say they're just going to Baron here into probably try and get mid lane in him perhaps. See, the chasing the blitz there, maybe not optimal. It works out, but if his team lost that team fight, that would have been horrific. As I said, Apdo's Orianna, I mean, it's not as unique as his other picks, such as how he plays the Kassadin and the TF in the side lanes. It's mainly just a 5v5 mid laner that he likes. Gets hooked there. That he likes to pick just because of how strong it is for the mid lane control. If you play a well-played Orianna is never gonna fucking lose the lane. So he's always gonna be in a position to carry. Walks in for the Drake then gets picked. That was just useless. He got really greedy there. Could have lost. I know he doesn't lose, but he could have lost the team the game just because he's moving in there with no vision. Very cocky. Not really Apdo-esque play there. He's probably getting pretty frustrated and just wants to close out because this game could have been over a long time ago. Enemy still has no QSSs or anything like that, so Ashe stun still relevant, Pantheon stun relevant. They still have great engage. They just need to start forcing and try and get an inhib down. Apdo finally finishes the Banshees. He needs a Void Staff now though. A little bit MR coming out from the Blitzcrank. Tali's got some MR. Kennen, not so much. God, that's an annoying Kennen split push build. I actually noticed they've been playing Untara in the top lane for SKT recently. More often than Huni, right? I'm sure they'll be fine come Worlds. Apdo's posturing away into the top lane, getting that slow push on. Now look back for a pick. He didn't do shit there. Team just got a good pick. Posturing with the Jacks. They're probably going to play topside for that tower there. It's much easier than trying to siege onto the inhib where they could get picked off by Blitz. And they can even get a dive here, I guess. They have no Ashe up for a little bit. Oh my god. Is that... fucking Apdo, man. Against a Blitzcrank, there's just, you can't do that. Did you have Banshees? Oh, I didn't get to see. Maybe you had Banshees and the Blitz got the ult in and then the hook. I didn't quite see. They finally drop an inhib, so... I mean, they're probably going to send... Jax has TP. Jax can probably go top. They can all go bot now. Then they can just look to try and dive bot lane tower. Oh, they're going to get a flank here. If they can get one more, they'll probably end the game off of it. Apdo's up now. They're really pass towards bot side. Jax is on top, push in top. Jax has no TP now, and they have to be aware of that. Kennen does. They're potentially at a disadvantage here if the Kennen gets the TP in. Because it's only Blitz. That's dead. They still have their full carries. They're going to try and rotate across 100% and then look for a dive. Yeah, Apdo plays it. He needs to play it slow. He has no vision on the blitz. The only thing that can get him is the hook. Yep, go for the dive. Apdo's tanking. Needs to be careful. This is a very close game. It's good. So see there, like Jax obviously didn't commit top lane because he has no TP. He goes for the group, goes for the force. Apdo just played it. I mean, he just went for the siege. Got a 2-man ultimate, I think, off. Made sure his ball was up there. Whenever you're sieging on Orianna like that, make sure your ball's up. Zoning them out a little bit. They have a very open map here with an Ashe. They're just trying to get a dive, get another force in. Ashe ult's on a pretty low cooldown, not gonna lie. It's not that big of a disadvantage to just chuck it out looking for the pick every now, like pretty much every time it's up. Just throw that Ashe ult, try and get something and follow it with the Panth. Apdo's just walking in slowly here. Watch his ball placements on these sieges. That's probably the most important thing to look at. I'll bring that ball up there to make sure no one can come in. When you're Orianna, never keep the ball in yourself here. There's just no point. Make sure you're zoning out a little bit of an area like he is. They're just going to wait for mid lane to push in and then probably commit for it. They've got top lane. Top wave is in a slow push position as well, which is great for them. There's ball and they are cut off. They're zoned. Great ult. Fuck at these frames, man. A lot of objectives coming up. They can get Drake, and then they can go to the Baron if they wanted. Like, because they have great waves and they had great waves set up before this, they can do this. If they didn't have that top wave so big and pushing in, I'm not sure if they could have, because the enemy team probably could have tried to force it. I think Apdo's flash is almost up. Apdo looking for a base here. Obviously has the void stuff completed. There'd be no other reason he'd base. Oh, goes for the elixir then. I thought he would have the void stuff for sure. Base is there just for the elixir. Knows there's going to be a 5. Whenever there's a 5v5 coming up, elixir's great. They had good position though. I wasn't sure that was needed. Lays him 30 seconds or so. Has to be careful pathing through there. I mean, all they have to do now is play it slow. And the team has to back up like that. For the waves. The bot lane wave. They have the man advantage. They're just going to force. Maybe even try for the end. If they want to be greedy, they'll go for the end. If they want to just play it slow and safe, they'll go for the Baron, then top wave, and then just look for the end there. They're just going to force it. They've got the Elder, I guess. They're just going to force with it. Fuck it. I'm trying to get to engage. Pretty shit. Like, Kennen's engage is pretty horrible. AD Kennen. Really hard to play. I guess they're just going to close out the game. Nothing, I guess there's nothing, like, there was nothing massive that game that Apdo was doing as opposed to just a normal Orianna. He played the landing phase well. His team honestly helped him out quite a bit. The Pantheon gave him a lot of advantages in the mid lane. There you go, there's the runes and masteries. Video off. So just talking about that game, I guess he got quite a lot of help out from his jungler. He played the laning phase well, played the mid game. He really just went straight down mid and made sure most of the time he wasn't dying and was there first for the skirmishes, there for the team fights. I guess nothing really else to talk about. There were some great points to take from it. The build path was nice. He went for the Banshees against the Blitz. Other than that, just a well-played Orianna.